Hey there, welcome to Violet's DIY Style. If this is your first time to my channel, I'm Violet and I hope you consider subscribing. Also, don't forget to click on that bell button so you can be notified every time I upload a new tutorial. And if you enjoyed this tutorial of the coastal theme home decor pieces, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and share with friends and family. It'll truly help my channel grow. So like I said, today we're going to be making some coastal theme home decor pieces. We're first going to be making this beautiful wreath and also some beautiful coastal cloche decor piece set. So what we're going to do first is we're going to use one of these wreaths and you're going to spray paint the wreath white. You can also leave it natural if you like. I'm using the smallest wreath they have at Dollar Tree, but they also, like I said, have a larger one. So you can basically decide which one you want to use depending on where you're going to place it. Then you're going to go ahead and grab some jute twine or any kind of rope that you want to use. You're going to make a loop and then you're going to insert it into around your wreath. That way you can hang your wreath. Now I like to do this at the beginning, that way I can know where my top is going to be of my wreath, so when I start adding my decorations I can add them depending on where I want to place them based on where the top of my wreath is going to be. So now what I'm going to do is use some shells, and I'm just using one bag of shells from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to start gluing all these shells around my wreath. So when I started gluing the shells onto my wreath, I started gluing them upside down, facing up, facing down. Then I realized I really didn't like that look. So after I added a few more shells, I decided to go ahead and flip the ones that I had facing up to face down, if that makes sense. Hopefully you'll see the difference when I do show you that part. And then I just started gluing some of these marbles or little beads, glass beads from Dollar Tree. And I chose to use the ones that were I call it sea blue. So just go ahead and start gluing your little marbles all around the wreath as well. And I like to kind of do little at a time instead of doing just one thing and then adding something else. That way you can kind of play with all the different shells and your different decor pieces that you're adding onto your wreath and start just adding them and kind of piling them on depending on where you like to place them. So just go ahead and continue adding your marbles. And as you can see, some of those marbles are a little tricky, and you need to be careful not to get burned, because some of them I did kind of get burned on them. So just be careful when you add your glue onto those small little items. So once I added a few of those marbles, I went ahead and grabbed one of my starfishes that I had, and I've just had this in my decor items, but you can easily just continue using shells without adding that starfish if you don't have a bigger starfish. You can even add a bow if you'd like. So just continue adding all your shells around. You can add some on the side, not just right on the top. So you can fill this up as much as you like. If you're new to my channel, something I love doing with wreaths is adding them not just on my doors, but I like to put them on my bookshelves, on top of mantles, and anywhere, depending on what theme I'm having in that area or that room. I like to add different size wreaths, and just to add that decor and that extra touch of whatever holiday or season it may be. So this one actually I'm going to use in my bathroom, because this spring I want to make a coastal themed bathroom. So I'm going to be adding this to that area. So where do you guys add your wreaths? Do you do what I do and just add them in different areas, or do you just like using them the traditional way on your doors? So as you can see, you just take your time and just start adding all the different shells onto your wreath. And once you think you're happy with the way it looks, just sit back and look at it. You can start adding other items. So what I decided to do is add some of this wire jute twine that they have at Dollar Tree. And I thought this was perfect for adding onto this wreath. So what I did was basically just unwire some of it. Then I just twisted it in the very top of my wreath just to start it off, and then basically just kind of twisted it all around my wreath in random areas. You can twist it around your wreath as tight as you like, or make it as loose as you like. As you can see, I'm making mine very loose just to have that little rope wrapped around my wreath. I just thought it had that coastal theme look, and it just added that extra touch. So once you have it on your wreath, and you can just kind of adjust it. The good thing is that this is wired, so you can play with it and twist it as much as you like, and it's going to stay basically where and how you twist it. So once you're done and you're happy with the way it looks, just go ahead and twist it all the way to the top, and then you're going to do the same thing the way you did to the beginning of this wire jute twine. Is just twist that end into the wreath, and then you're going to just tie it on tightly, and it's going to stay in place since it does have that wire. Now, once I was done adding my jute twine wire onto my wreath, as you can see, I was just playing with it, making sure it looked fine, making sure I liked the amount of shells that I added on here. And then I'm going to continue doing this until I'm happy with the way it looks. Then I decided to go ahead and look at the picture that I was inspired by. And then I noticed that it had some of the shells painted in different colors, well, the turquoise color. So I decided to go ahead and get this one from Apple Barrel that I had on hand, and I'm just lightly brushing the different random shells and also my starfish. But again, I'm very lightly brushing it on little by little, kind of piling the color on instead of adding a larger amount onto my shells. So just go ahead and do it lightly, or you can do it as much as you like, depending on your style. But I just wanted to kind of add lightly layers until I was happy with the color it came out. And once I was done with the starfish, I went ahead and started adding the same color to different shells. And just adding and brushing on to the shells that paint very lightly. And then just kind of layering it up until I was happy with the color. I wanted to keep mine as simple as possible, but still add that pop of color. But you can also do gold. You could do any color on here onto the shells and paint it, and it would look totally different if you like more of that glam style with your coastal. So this is really one of the things, like I've said before, I love doing DIYs and home decor, because you can customize any home decor piece that you're going to make depending on your style and where you want to place it. So, you know, you can't really do that and find it so easily at a store. So this is the way it turned out. Next, we're going to go ahead and do the cloches. And I wanted to make it something very simple, again, because it's going to be for my bathroom. So I went ahead and used these tea light candles that come, holders that come 4 in a package. And I'm also using these glass bowls that come 4 in a package. These are like for sauce or dips or something like that. These are normally where all the glass cups and kitchen, I guess you could say, stuff is at. So just go ahead and grab 3 of these tea light candle holders, and since I'm making a set, I'm going to stack 2 of these tea light candle holders together using my E6000 and hot glue. I just added it to the rim of the top of one, and I'm going to flip it over on top of the next candle glass holder. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab one of these bowls and add it to the top of that, again using E6000 and hot glue. When I use or do any kind of home decor piece with glass, I like to use E6000 because I noticed with the hot glue gun, it does stay, but it won't stay permanently, and it doesn't, you have to be very, very careful to move it around because it will sometimes just, you know, pull apart. So the second one set, all I did was add one of the tea light candle holders and added one of the bowls onto that the same way with the E6000. Then I grabbed 2 more bowls, and I'm adding 1 glass marble on top with E6000. And I'm going to go ahead and set those aside and allow that to dry. So once everything's nice and dry, you can fill it up with anything you like. And since this is more of a coastal theme, I went ahead and just added some shells that I had extra from my wreath, and also some sea glass that I had from Dollar Tree that was extra from another project into the second one. And then just add your cloche lid on top, and there you have it. Some beautiful coastal cloches that you can use in your bathroom or anywhere in your home. Once I placed these on my shelf that I want to use them for, I thought it needed a little bit extra or something different just to make make it look more coastal. So what I decided to do was go ahead and just remove everything that I had added into my cloche, and I'm going to wrap jute twine around the bottom of my cloches, or the stand part of it. So all I did was just glue it onto the bottom part of the first one from my set and just start wrapping that rope around the bottom. And just wrap it tightly. Make sure you take your time and then just push it down to not have any gaps of the rope around your set. And every once in a while I do add glue just to make sure it stays in place and it doesn't, unravel. So just continue doing this until you're completely done with the bottom part of each one of these from your set. I think this would look adorable also if you just maybe added some shells or, at the bottom as well. So there's so many different ways you can make these more coastal or more your home decor. Or if you like them just glass, that way you can have more options to use these in different areas. You could just leave them pure glass and they did look very elegant and pretty as well. So once you're done wrapping your jute twine around, just add a little bit more glue to the top where you're going to cut the rest of that jute twine and leave it as is. And there you have it. And then for this taller one, you're going to do the same thing. Just add glue to the bottom and then start wrapping your jute twine all the way around. And if you don't want to add glue when you start the wrapping, you could easily just wrap your rope all the way around and tie a knot and then start wrapping it that way. But when you do add glue, it just helps keep it secure and keep it in place. That way it won't just twist all the way around and it's just harder for you to start wrapping it, at least to start it. So I do recommend, even if you tie a knot, to add at least a dot of glue. That way it can stay in place and you can start wrapping your rope around your decor piece. What theme are you guys going to use this year for spring? Or do you just like decorating with beautiful colors? This year, I just wanted to do something a little bit different. And I usually, since bathrooms are a lot smaller, I tend to decorate those a lot more by the holidays and the seasons, and just keep like a neutral shower curtain in there, maybe a white one or a black one, and just add to that depending on what home decor or theme I want to go for in that area. So I like decorating my bathrooms, like I said, in different themes depending on holidays and such like that. So what kind of decorations are you going to be adding to your home this spring? So once I was done adding all the jute twine around the bottom stands of each one of these for my set, then I just went ahead and added my shells back in there and my sea glass into there. You can even add some little soaps in here, just different items. You can add Q-tips and cotton balls in here and it would look really adorable as well. So this is the way the set looks and the wreath. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Again, if you did, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and share with friends and family. Until next time, stay blessed. Bye.